Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Share. Sharon went to have a cigarette. Chris. Hello, Crime. Hey, I watched your video afterwards. I'm sorry. I was taking a nap. Hi, Ohio. Nico. Well, let's welcome our guest, Society.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing?
We'll wait for some people to get in. I notified all my mods, and not all of them are here yet. Sharon went to have a sick. Hi, Christine. I go ahead, Society.
Oh, I was just going to say that your name still says Asha Degree. Is that
Oh, I didn't change that. I need to. Um, I'll be right back, guys.
okay?
I didn't change it. I thought it was changed to. Okay, talk to Society, guys. I'll be right back.
Hey,
Thank you,
Chris.
Society.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, Chris G, Ohio Gal, Christine, Sapphire, Shar, Nick. How's everybody doing? You get a double dose of me this week. It's awful. I'm so sorry for you. Hello, hello. Hi, Crime and Innocence. Anne just went out to change her name.
I'm back.
Hello again.
I can't believe that. Well, I changed it to Denise
Yeah,
because that's what we're speaking on. I can't believe that.
that's funny. I think it just probably saved from last night, maybe.
Yes, it does that. And then I usually change it when I come back in. But so, hello, Sapphire, Rosie, Sabrina, Bestie, 10. Yeah, I was telling Society that I laid down today. I was so tired, but I took an extra long nap. I didn't wake up until, I don't know, um, I can't remember, 6 something, I think. Then I had to rush around and fix supper, start supper. And that's why my camera's off, guys, because I look like crap.
You never look like crap when you say you look like crap.
Well, I think I do.
Never.
So we're waiting for a little more people to come in, and then Society can, I think most people know, but for those of you who don't, I'm going to put Society on the spot and let her tell us a little bit about herself.
Uh-oh, that's what I did to you.
Yeah, payback time.
It is. Well, let's see. Since I'm incognito, I'll have to keep this pretty short. No. Um, let's see. What can I tell you? I'm a mom, and of course, I live in Indiana, and I've been on YouTube now since January of 2009, 19, as far as my YouTube channel goes. Um, Denise Plum, that we're talking about tonight, is the very first case that I ever heard about. I was 9 years old. So this kind of dives deep into my heart of why I started my channel, because most people think it's because of Delphi, but it wasn't. It was actually because of Denise and Delphi. Um, cases just don't get the recognition or, you know, news media the way that some cases do. I think we can all agree to that. So when I was 9 years old, I grew up in the town just north of Fayette County in Wayne County. And I always heard about it was like the case of just our area. Nobody could make sense of it. People had a lot of rumors and ideas of what may have happened, but nothing really concrete. So as I grew up, it was one of those cases that never left me. It always haunted me. So that's kind of how I got into bringing light to cases that don't get a lot of light shed on them. So that's a little bit about me, not too much. My world revolves around working, which I work in healthcare, and being a mom and YouTube. That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Okay. Excuse me, I was just messaging our mutual friend, seeing if he would like to watch. He may be playing poker or chess or band, who knows?
Euchre. For euchre.
Yeah. So let's see some new people coming in. Hi, Lady Fierce.
Yeah, hi, Lady Fierce.
Yeah, we love Society too. She's awesome.
Aw, thank you.
We have a small group of YouTubers that we can just say are awesome.
Yes. Very blessed. My goodness.
Yeah, so 9 years old and very, very near your, yeah, I can see that. And that's, I think, not to get into Delphi, but I think that is why it hit me so hard, the murder. Was so close. The crime scene was, so close. And
Right.
then on Ron's, they turn up there, and
Yeah.
I think that's why it hit me so hard. Right in my community.
Yeah. Those are the ones that grab you right when it's right in your hometown, right near your hometown. They don't leave you.
Yeah, but being a child, I think would be, yeah. I thought, no, sorry. I started to repeat myself because I thought another YouTuber I know came in when I saw Ken say, hello, lady. Okay, so where do you want to start, Society, with Denise? As I don't really know that much about the case. I don't know how many here do.
Okay.
I have watched, I think, one of your videos on that, but it has been a while, so.
Yeah, I haven't given a lot of attention to this case in a while, and I need to get back to doing that. So however you want me to start, I can just start spieling off who she was, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So the case tonight is Denise Plum out of Fayette County, Indiana. Specifically, she was from Everton, Indiana, which is south of Connorsville. Connorsville is kind of the bigger town. Everton's the little bitty town. But address-wise, it would be Connorsville. She went missing in 1986. Of course, like I said, I was 9 years old when this happened. She was 18. She was a senior at Connorsville High School. She had plans to go on to Miami University and major in biology. Spring break, like I said, she still had like track practices and things that she was going to that week. But on that Thursday night, which was March the 27th, she got invited to a party. There's rumors around that party. I won't dive into that until later, but she was invited to a party. And she made it home from that party. And on the next day, which was Good Friday, March the 28th, she told her mom, this was about 12:30, just a little bit after noon, so around 12:30, that she left her purse at the site of that party from the night before, and she was going to go back there and try to retrieve it. Her mom worked at the bank in Everton, and she was on lunch break. She didn't think anything of it. Fine, she left in the car, not thinking too much of it. When she came home at like 3, Denise wasn't home yet, which was really weird. Now, Denise didn't have her purse, so she left with nothing but what she was wearing, which was a Motley Crue t-shirt, her jeans, and her white tennis shoes. She wears contacts. She didn't take any kind of contact solution, no overnight bag, nothing. Just keys in her hand, got into their like early model Buick Regal. I think it was like a 1981 or 83, not sure. And left. I don't know that the parents knew where the site of the party was actually. But again, that's speculative.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so her mom obviously starts worrying because it shouldn't have taken that long to go get your purse. I don't know exactly what transpired. I've heard some things that they went looking for her. They called friends. Nobody had seen her. So at 8:30 that night, because that just wasn't like her, they knew, parents just know anyway, something's wrong here. This isn't right. 8:30 that night, they called the sheriff's department. So it wasn't a city thing because Everton didn't have city cops. It would have been Connersville. And since they were on the outskirts of town, the sheriff's department is what headed it up.
Yes.
So anyway, they reported her missing. Of course, I don't really know what kind of search took place, if there was anything, if it was just the report that went in, and that was it. I think that's probably in 1986 what would have happened. The next day, a call came in to the police department. I don't know if it was city or sheriff, and it was from a farmer. Reported that a car, so we have to think there was no social media. This didn't hit news. There was no cell phone. So more than likely, nobody knew that she was missing except for probably immediate family and friends, right? Anyway, this farmer calls in and reports that a car had been sitting up a lane in a field since 1:15 the day before. So now we have a time frame. She left around 12:30 from Everton, and the farmer said he saw the car there around 1:15. He was home for lunch or coming back from lunch, going whatever, and said he seen the car there, thought it was mushroom hunters, didn't think anything of it, but the car was still there. So police went out there. The site of which they found the car was what the locals call Tower Road, but it's like close to Glenwood, Indiana, which is almost to the Rush County line, which Fayette and Rush sit right next to each other. So it was clear across the other side of the county. Parked up this little back lane in between cornfields. So had the corn been up, which it wasn't, it was just planting season, it wouldn't have probably been seen. But because it was in a clear view there, the farmer noticed it, thought it was mushroom hunters, didn't think anything of it that day, but reported it the next day. Cops got there. The car was locked, no keys, no purse. They brought in forensics at some point. No fingerprints was left on that car, wiped clean. No Denise. And she has not been seen since the day she left out of her mom and dad's house at 12:30. So there's a 45-minute gap based on that time frame. And that's the gist of it. And then there's of course, different things that's transpired over the years, different rumors, local rumors, a lot of online stuff that came about in the 90s that, we've had alien abduction things written about this case. You talk about some craziness out there.
Yeah.
So that's the setting of this cold case.
Wow.
I know.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that it's one of those cases where her parents are in their 70s, if not pushing 80s now. and time is of the essence, in my opinion, so they can have closure.
Yeah. Wow. I can't imagine.
Yeah, me neither. So I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Yes. Does anyone have any questions for society?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's an abduction too.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, Sabrina, but it depends on the spring itself, like how quickly spring comes in versus how quickly winter goes out when the mushrooms start popping up. Or so I've been told. I'm not a big mushroom hunter, so.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I thought they came in pretty early this year, didn't they?
I thought so. It seems like they were out at the end of March, early April.
And gone.
Mm-hmm. So what was going on with the party? Well, that's the big unknown. Denise was not a partier, from my understanding. She was practically a straight A student. Not that that makes you not a partier, but she didn't run in that kind of a crowd. She was athletic. She ran track. She played basketball. And in Connorsville, to play basketball for the Spartans is a pretty big deal. You just didn't, if you were in athletics and doing that kind of thing, you were pretty much a part of the in crowd, the popular crowd, and she already had her prom dress. Prom was around the corner. Graduation was around the corner. Thinking about the Madison Bell case, a lot of people said she ran away with somebody. But we don't know who that somebody is that's been missing all those years either, Hoosier the Bruiser says, I don't trust anybody who won't show their face. Let's think about that. Does Hoosier don't show his face? He's picking on us.
Yeah, Hoosier.
So as far as the party goes, and this is not based on any fact, it's just talk of the town, okay? So you have to take this with a grain of salt. There might have been some drug-related alcohol things going on there at that site of the party. It is my understanding that the parents had no clue where this party was. I think she might have told them it was at somebody else's house and ended up at a different site. I have a map of the location, but it's like the center of Connorsville, the way that her dad had put it. There's a Justice for Denise Plum Facebook page, and her mom and dad will post things, mostly her dad. And there was a map back from the 80s mapped out. You could see where Everton was, and you could see where her car was found, and right in dead center in this circled area, that party supposedly took place. So it wasn't like her car ended up at the site of the party. Some people feel like she never made it back to the site of the party, or that she did and interrupted some sort of drug deal.
Oh, goodness.
And then some people think that she was on her way home and, something else happened. Recently, though, in 2018 into 19, it got a big jump in the case. They started draining one of the ponds at Mary Gray Bird Sanctuary. There's 4 of them out there, and they were draining the 4th pond. Some things had led law enforcement to that over the years, and they had never done that. So they brought in all these, like, cadaver dogs. I don't even know if that's the right term. It's like dogs that go in and was able to find, I guess it would be cadaver dogs, but like when 9/11 happened, they're the dogs that went in and sifted out people in the rubble. So they brought in dogs like that, and the dogs hit, more than one dog, from my understanding, hit on the fourth pond. Now, it doesn't mean it was her that was in there. There could just be something dead in there, right? I mean, I don't know if it had to be human for them to hit on it, but they hit on it. But the way luck has it sometimes is not always with us. It rained and it rained and it rained some more. I think it was like they started working on it in maybe the last part of 2018, and they couldn't resume because of winter until like 2019, maybe spring, and it just rained, and it played into them not being able to get down far enough into that pond. But they ended up saying that it was cleared, that they didn't find nothing. So we all had hope that at least there would be some sort of conclusion, but it ended up being another dead end. And they put out a $25,000 reward last year, I think, just to kind of get it restarted, people talking about it.
Yeah.
And there was a rumor that, and they started putting up reward posters around town. We hadn't seen that in years. And there was a company that was following them around, or so the rumor goes, that they were going to be doing a documentary on Denise. But so far, I haven't seen anything come of that either. It's really devastating.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. So she's definitely one that I try to bring up every now and then and just keep it talked about, because somebody knows. Just like with the Delphi case, somebody knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, her parents are what makes me so sad. They had two daughters, so Denise and then I think it was her younger sister. So that's all they have, is the younger sister. And so when they pass away, it will be the younger sister and maybe even her kids that will have to make sure that it never goes completely cold. I don't think they really call it a cold case. I think I just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just, as even some people are starting to call Delphi that, even though they don't, police don't, but.
Right. But we kind of just assume after so long it's cold,
Right. Right.
So, as far as Denise, some of the things that's transpired over the years was, I know, or maybe I don't know, how many of you watched Kat's channel, because he kind of picked up on the Denise case for a while and really did some research. And he dug into Larry Dwayne Hall, which is sitting in a jail cell in Illinois.
Yes.
Yeah.
I looked him up. I was watching a couple videos maybe a week ago about him, because I have been trying to watch Cat more, and of course I fell asleep on, because I do that at night. When I go to bed, I watch videos and I end up falling asleep. But yes, I did. I watched some of that. Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt you, though.
Oh, no.
I have a habit of that. That's my ADD. I'm sorry.
Not at all. I was laughing at Hoosier. He says, I'm actually a big fan of Incognito. Well, that just made my day, Hoosier.
She is awesome. I think she's really awesome. I do. I have my favorite YouTubers, and she's absolutely one of them.
Well, I definitely think that you are as well. You're one of my favorites too, so thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what the heck was I going to say?
Oh, crime. Okay. Well, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What did crime say?
She asked Cold Truth asked if there's anything to test forensically.
Well, they did test the car, but this was 1986. I would love to have that redone. I know that's probably not even possible. Don't even know where the car is. I know they don't have it anymore, but forensically, they brought in somebody out of Indianapolis, which was big time for small town Connorsville. to get somebody forensically to come out and do something like that. And they took, those, what do they call those, white lights or whatever they do to light up the car. There was not one fingerprint on that car, from my understanding. That to me tells me somebody set out to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Yeah, obvious. I mean, that's what I get for sure.
Yeah, I mean, where was Denise's fingerprints? Where was the mom and dad's fingerprints? If they were there and they just said it wrong, that hasn't been told to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So sorry I'm behind in the stream, but I'm almost positive cadaver dogs only hit in human remains. Okay. Well, that's what I was wondering, because you would think if more than one cadaver dog brought in out of state that, does things like rubble, finding human remains or alive humans or whatever, if hit on the fourth pond, there's something there. Someone is there. But there was nothing they could find. But all the sludge, like I said, the rain just played into it over and over and over. Did you say the car was wiped down, no fingerprints? Not even hers. That's my understanding. Yeah. Nothing.
So I mean, yeah, and so that shows right there. I mean, obvious crime, abduction. They were hiding. I mean, because hers should have been there, and whoever's might she hang around with, like you said, her parents, her sisters, her friends. I mean, she
Right.
drove the car. Hers should have been on the steering wheel, the radio, the door.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know if it was just the outside that they're talking about, or if this was the entire car, because, again, this was a 1986 report. But something should have been.
Yeah.
Somewhere. So somebody cleaned up.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was saying earlier with Kat. He covered this case, and he and I think we're going to tag team on this case again on one of our channels later down the road, and just kind of give our viewpoints. But he really dove into the Larry Dwayne Hall aspect of being the killer. He's a very good prospect. However, for me, you know how it is when you're local to something, right? When you're local,
yeah,
you hear all the local stuff. So for me, I guess I don't think it was a serial killer. I think it was somebody that knew her. Yeah, well, Crime and Innocence says a regular person would not know to wipe down the car unless it was a cop.
And I just, with all that's going on right now and everything, and I hate to think that way, but it happens. And I'm not trying to be a cop basher, because, right now everybody's bashing the cops.
I know.
You can't judge all cops by just a bad few. And I don't even want to go there right now and go with that subject right now, because I'm so fed up and tired of it. But
yeah,
this happens.
Yeah,
it happens, especially in small communities. And but this case, society, it's all the years it's gone on, and it's like the case we were talking about last night. And I don't want to get off track, because this is why we're here tonight for Denise. But we were talking about the OSHA degree last night, and it's 20 years old. And I mean, all of us are so stumped, and there's so many possibilities with that case. But that's an option there too. And I mean, there's so many cases in small towns, and that's always an option. But like what Crime said right there, a normal person, unless if it's a profound serial killer, that's been at work for a while, or, and I hate to go here too, because a lot of people are tired of hearing this, a trafficker. or someone in power,
Right.
which is, a cop,
Yeah, exactly.
or at least helping. Maybe the cop didn't do it, but help cover up. I mean, I hate to go there, but you do gotta explore all possibilities.
Well, I'll throw out some of the rumors.
Okay.
One of them was that her and her boyfriend got into a fight right before she left. Like he showed up at the house. The mom didn't really know what was going on, but she came in frustrated with him. He left. Um, and then right after that, Denise left. So maybe they were going to go somewhere to talk. But in my mind, if he did something, would he have known to wipe down the car and lock it and put it up, back up this lane, unless he called for help or backup, right? For somebody to help him. Then there was the rumor that I won't say the name, but there was a physician in town that his sons attended the party the night before, and that this is really bad, and I'm just going to say it. I don't really want to dwell on it, but supposedly, and this was the biggest rumor I had remembered and always thought probably what happened until I got older and started researching on my own, is that these two boys, their names circulated around this abduction, and that the dad, who was a physician, helped cover it up. And in fact, it was said that she was fed to pigs.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's that one. And
Mm-hmm.
then if we go down another avenue of Larry Dwayne Hall, he was known to wipe the crime scene clean. That was one of his signatures. So there's that. Plus other things that surround him that we've talked about with Kat was he participated in Civil War reenactments, and
Yes.
it was found that there was one here in Fayette County where she went missing just within weeks.
Oh,
That. So there's a lot of avenues.
that's interesting.
Definitely. And he is supposedly responsible probably for 50 some or more killings in and
Yes.
around Indiana. But
Yes. The Jessica Roach, um, uh, she was abducted from Georgetown, Illinois. I lived in Danville, Illinois at that time, which Georgetown was only 10 minutes from me, maybe. That haunted me for a while. It really did, in which we only lived there for a year. My aunt and uncle talked us into moving down there. I was terrified there. That was like a little Chicago, and I just was scared there. Plus, I'm a mama's girl, missed my mom, even though I was only 45 minutes from here or Lafayette. Right. But I just hated it. I hated living there. I hated, even though we lived in a good rural neighborhood, I knew I was coming back. I didn't want my son growing up there, or anything. He was really young. But anyways, Jessica Roach. And then when I, found out about him, and I was like, oh, wow. But yeah. So Sharon has a statement or question, I mean.
Okay. So why stop for killer unless she knew him? Well, we don't know if she stopped. We don't know anything what transpired from the time she left from Everton to when her car was found locked and in Glenwood, almost in Glenwood. It was off of Tower Road. It was parked in a field, locked. Maybe the cops just did a shoddy job and never dusted for fingerprints. Yep. Regardless. Yeah, let me tell you, living in and around the area, I'm sure there was a shoddy job done. There's just way too many things that happened in the 80s. Or anyway, we won't go to that. So she left in broad daylight. Kanga said someone might have been hiding in her car. It was broad daylight on Good Friday. I highly doubt that, but you never know. I mean, anything is possible at this point. Now, Kat seems to think that she might have been flagged down, Ivy. Yep. That one of the ruse that Larry Dwayne Hall would do with his brother, from my understanding, is they would act like they had a flat tire or, wave somebody down if they thought it was a female coming or whatever. There's an intersection that could have happened at, not far from where her car was found. So there would have been two players, which is kind of where Kat's method of thinking is. But I don't believe her parents think it's Larry. I don't believe that anybody in the town or surrounding the case does. It's only what you read online, because there was a study out of, I think, West Virginia University. I may have the university wrong, but somebody did a study on serial killers like in the 90s or early 2000s, and it's on the web somewhere. I probably have it downloaded, but I can't think of what it was titled. But they were linking all the possible missing people or found murdered, like Trisha Reitler. I did a video on her. She looks a lot like Denise. She was a freshman in college, so just very close in age. And it is, well, Larry Dwayne Hall admitted to it, but he's not been serving time for her. He took him to a spot, the law enforcement to a spot that said that he disposed of her there, but they couldn't find anything to charge him with. So he's actually sitting in jail for taking somebody across state lines for kidnapping, not even for murder or rape or whatever of the girl that he's sitting in the jail cell for, just for kidnapping. And he's supposedly responsible for 50-some. And this university did a study, and they included Denise as far as the timeline of possibly being one of his victims. So that's one angle.
So he's probably not even ever been questioned about her. I wonder if anybody, I mean, would he even, I mean, he's going to be there for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I've wondered if Fayette County Sheriff's Department haven't tried to maybe contact him by phone or something there. I don't think that they would go over there in the Illinois prison and try to talk to him. I think they're thinking it's more of local. There's a place called Laurel, south of Connorsville, that is a real redneck town. I hope I don't die for saying this. Come after me. But yeah, there's rumors about a biker gang back in the 70s, 80s that were supposedly responsible for some things. All these local rumors that surround, I don't really know. I mean, from a cop, and I won't mention the cop's name, to possibly maybe her boyfriend was meeting her. It's the craziness of it all, from the doctors, two boys, that she ran away, like in the Madison Bell case, that she just ran away and married somebody and they were living in Pennsylvania. And I mean, I've heard it all.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of, there's good bikers. I hope I don't get killed for this either, but there truthfully are some bad biker gangs that traffic and do horrible things to kids. I mean, that's just a fact. I think probably everybody here probably knows that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kanga says, usually a grain of truth in local rumors regarding crimes. That is true. I guess I can I mean, yeah, I say that. I mean, I can agree, to a certain extent on that, Kanga. Um, if it's local, yeah, maybe. I had a discussion with somebody the other night on Hoosiers chat that over the Delphi case, although the locals, the person was saying that the rumors started from the locals, and I disagreed with that because I followed that case from day one, and they didn't. They mostly started from people that didn't know anything about the family. They started mainly, I'm not going to name the person, but I think everybody here knows who she is. She lived
Mm,
in Arizona, and all she did is dig up, Derek's past and posted it all over Facebook, and then people went from there. And we all know.
yeah, that's crazy.
But so yeah, I mean, maybe if they come from locals, maybe there's a grain of truth in it. Yeah, I can agree, Kanga.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is really sad case. Rosie says it's not just bikers, crazies, politicians, elites. It is incredible if you research. You're right, Rosie. Yes, you are. I
Yeah.
mean, it could be anything. I mean, anything's possible. I hate cases like this. I hate cases that go unsolved for so long, and when there's hardly nothing to go on, um, nothing. So they don't have anything forensic.
No, not a
And
thing.
see, I hate that. So it's somebody very, very experienced, or somebody just got really lucky. Well, like Fox said, maybe the cops just did a shoddy job.
Mm-hmm.
It was just bad police work. I mean, it was in 1986, so that's possible. But since they've reopened it, I mean, we find those all the time. You get a good, caring cop that reopens a case, and they give it everything they've got,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
get lucky.
Yeah. One of the Indiana State Police, Scott Jarvis, got the case in 2007, and he started looking into more. And he even uploaded an old baby tooth, the DNA from her old baby tooth, just to see if maybe there had been like a Jane Doe somewhere found in another state. And so far, no DNA has ever hit. I mean, it's been rumored that she's in a well um, on the farm close to where the car was found. Like I said, it's rumored so much, and I think there's just everybody seems to believe it was. There's some names I will not throw out because I'm not trying to
Yeah,
get sued or in trouble. But
dangerous. Yeah,
there's
I
some
know what you're talking about.
there's some names that go along with who her boyfriend might have known to help with it. Like if something did happen, let's say, this is my opinion, let's say they got in a fight, he hit her, I don't know. This is just me going out on the limb here. Then he would call his buddies to help cover everything up, take her car somewhere else, wipe it down, whatever. So I mean, those are those possibilities. I think the sheriff, kind of like in the Delphi case, how they keep saying, we just need that one tip. We just need that one person to call us. It's kind of like that with the Denise case. Like they're just waiting on that one person to break.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope my hope in this case would be that that and I know that's their wish, that the parents would be able to find out and know before they pass.
Me too.
And even then, I've said this, I don't think that still ever gives the family complete closure.
Mm-mm.
But it gives them a little, I mean, it gives them justice,
Yeah.
but not complete, you know? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. I just praise God and I'm so thankful every day. Um, I just couldn't imagine being in some of these families'
I
places.
I hope I never am. I really do because
Yes,
I
yes. I can't even explain. I don't know, you know, how I mean, you know, like Becky Patty is, you know, I use her all the time. But then there's Dottie, Ray's mom.
yeah,
You know, they're strong. But you know, like they say, God's what gets them through. And you know, I hope I'm okay with sharing this. Um, Becky told me once, you know, she was going through cancer. We all know she was healed. She's in remission.
praise the Lord.
Um, but I was concerned for her, and so I called her up and we had a little God talk. And she let me know that yes, she um, had accepted Christ as her Savior
Oh,
because I was concerned, you know. And
sure.
and she said that I am okay. She said I am okay either way. She said if the Lord heals me from this, then I get to stay here on earth with my family. But if He takes me home, then I get to go home and be with Libby. And
Oh,
I just thought, wow, you know, isn't that, you know, I mean, I just thought that was awesome.
that's
And
amazing.
she's just
Uh,
such a strong lady, you know, just with all that she's put up with and everything. But
she's been dealt more than her fair share. That's
oh
just
yes, she has. She has. So Ivy says, early riser, I don't know. Either laugh out loud. I can only think of one possibility. But maybe she was commenting back to me what I was saying, but I thought she was talking about the case, but I think she might have been referring to what I was talking about when I was talking about rumors.
oh, okay, gotcha. Um, I was just reading some of the comments. I'm always behind on comments. I'm sorry, guys.
I am too when we talk. Ivy, were you referring to what I was talking about the rumors or the case? I'm sorry.
I did want to say have you ever heard of the Kristen Smart case out of the Cal Poly back in the 90s? The girl that went missing, and they just kind of revamped it out there in the past year. They went and took
She
the.
was she the one that was taken by that couple?
No, that's Elizabeth Smart. This one, I
Oh,
think,
okay.
yeah, Kristen Smart. Well, they went. Here's what I guess what I'm trying to compare to is that sheriff out there went and actually served a warrant after all these years on the main suspect, this guy. I don't know what they found, but they took out stuff. But they also went and ran down the VIN number to the vehicle he drove at that time and seized it and was running forensics on it to see if they could find any evidence of Kristen being in his vehicle. Now, I know it's been many, many years, but I think that would be awesome if they could do that in the Denise Plum case too.
Yes.
But who knows?
Yeah, you wonder why they do certain things in some cases. Why aren't they doing that in this case? Like I'll watch Dateline or 2020 and I see, you know, or I have the genetic DNA, you know, the new CC Moore show.
Oh yeah.
I have it recorded. So I'll watch it, you know, I'm behind on it, but I'll watch it and
Oh,
but I'll watch those shows and I'll be like, so why aren't they doing this, you know, in this? So you just wonder why they don't do it in some cases, but they do in other cases. And you get so aggravated.
I know. And this one Tuesday nights, this past Tuesday night, I just watched it before we came on. It's really good. I won't give it away. But next Tuesday is going to be about April Tinsley.
Oh,
Yeah, that was that one and the Golden State Killer. I can't, those were the two that really put CC on the map.
Yeah. Well, my mom, see, she watches it right away, and she's like, "Have you watched this yet? Have you what? You're gonna want to watch it."
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. I mean, and she did offer. I mean, I know for a fact, and I wouldn't lie about it. And I know a lot of people, Greeno caught a lot of flack on that. They thought he was lying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was right there, and I watched it come through her reply, and she said she did speak with Tobe about it. So, and I that's the thing, and the blame can't go on Carter because Carroll County's the lead.
Right.
I don't, I'm not bashing them. They've got their reasons. I just question why.
I know.
Why? Why won't you let somebody help? I mean,
That
I don't know, but I don't think Paul Holes it's going to cost. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I know he's offered. It's all over Facebook where he said, "I have offered."
Yeah, when Paul Holes also said it's going to be a long, hard, what do they say? A lot of digging,
A long haul,
a
long
long
hard
haul.
haul, or
They got a
something like
long
that.
road ahead of them, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
You know, did he mean that like because they won't let anybody help, or did he mean it because they got to start doing some old-fashioned digging, which I think is what he said, get some old-fashioned digging.
I think he meant both, probably, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes me think in a different direction. Well, and if they talk about suggestive fingerprints, if that's what they have, um, maybe it's not enough to do anything with in a genetic. I mean, what could they really do with a fingerprint for CC Moore? Because I think like this particular one that I just watched, they collected semen off, not to be graphic, but so then I guess I am telling you what happened on Tuesday, but anyway, they ended up, she did her thing and they followed this guy and he threw out a cigarette butt. They went and got it and then they compared his saliva to the DNA semen.
Mm-hmm.
Can they do that with a fingerprint?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I
I'm not
wouldn't think
sure.
they could get much from that.
Plus, it's smudged.
Yeah. If it's not just a bluff. That's what concerns me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, and this is just my opinion too. I think Riley has a few times fluffed this case up. Not bad, but
Yeah.
Carter will make statements, or even Carroll County or something, and then he'll come out and say something that is just he shouldn't have said, or and I know Carter made a video with MVT, but that was way before MVT went off the deep end, and but then Riley has made two even after that,
Yeah.
and it's like, what are you doing? And then his Facebook page was loaded with comments, even like, what are you doing? Why are you? And then Tobe, I even called Tobe and said, Tobe, do you not know who this dude is? Why are you?
Yeah.
But he learned his lesson, because he said, I'm not interviewing with anybody. I'm not going to be doing interviews for a while. And if I do, it's going to be, media that I know. And I mean, they're all human. They all make mistakes. They're not perfect. And that's one thing that people have to realize about cops. They're not perfect.
Right.
But when they deliberately, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tobe is never the main front man, nor is Kim Riley, for any of the big pressers.
Right.
I think there's a reason behind them.
Yeah.
They say too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivy says it's just crazy that such little evidence can be left. You're right, Ivy, and It has to be intentional, and it has to be, I think, because it's somebody very experienced. I don't think it's by pure luck. I just don't. You know, some people say, like in the Delphi case, well, that person got really lucky that day. No, I don't think that at all. I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
I don't think that at all.
Mm.
Now, society, not to get off track of Denise, but then again, it kind of goes with it. If you know, when we're talking about Larry Hall, I have heard, and some people think, um, and I think you mentioned Kat might think this. Do you think his brother was involved in some of those murders? And do you think, this is what I hear still, he's sitting in prison. Do you think his brother may still, if he was involved, do you think he still may be killing?
Well, that's a
Some
good
people think
question.
that. Some people think that.
Yeah, and to be honest, I really haven't looked into him. So it would be like me just saying off the top of my head, what I would think. But I do think after a while, killers do cool off. If we look at the Golden State Killer, um, I surely by now they would figure it out, and be watching him all the time. But I do think that he had help. And for instance, if it ended up being Denise, because in the Trisha Rittler case, and again, I apologize if anybody says that last name wrong, or I'm saying it wrong and offend anybody, because I did get a comment one time that I was saying her name wrong on the video. That he had like a van, and somebody said it was driving past Trisha as she was walking back from the supermarket. So if he had waved down Denise and got her into the van, somebody would have to drive her car somewhere.
Yes.
Unless he tied her up and then he went and did that, and then he would have had to walk back to wherever his van was with her in it. See, there had to have been two people if we look at it from that perspective, that it was Larry Dwayne Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Because where the intersection was to where her car was found was quite a ways, but it was on the same road. So he would have had to like tie her up by himself, then move her car down the lane, find a spot. Okay, this is good. Lock it, wipe it down, then walk back and nobody see him, get back in his van and leave. It would make more sense if two were involved.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because his brother, at least in the two videos I watched, his brother was kind of not, all about talking so much and kind of, backwards, not kind of, I don't want to say denial, but then again, I kind of do. And then all at once, he was ready to speak up and be, and go totally against him.
That's what I would
And
do.
well, I mean, you know what I mean? He was kind of
Yeah.
one way for a while, and then boom, all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
um, like maybe he thought, oh, all eyes are on me. I need to change gears. I mean, that's just kind of how I saw it in the videos that I watched. I'm going to
Yeah.
watch more.
I think he has a family now, right? Is that my understanding? Or
Yes,
okay. So
that's my understanding.
it might be that he decided to change his ways and he had to make his brother look bad so he could look better. Maybe take
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't think he worked alone. I don't know.
yeah.
Van. I know. Why is there always a van involved? I guess it's because it's easy to grab somebody, put them in there, and nobody see them.
Yeah, hide them.
Mm-hmm.
Vans creep me out too, I'll tell you.
I
Especially the ones with no windows and the older ones. They creep me out. There was one in Camden that always, yeah, they creep
uh-huh.
me out.
Me too. I tell my kids, look, if there's a van and you got to get in on that side, go around to the other side because you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
Overly cautious, I guess, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm interested in seeing justice for this case. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do. I hate seeing long, drawn out, I mean, cases and ones with nothing really to go on.
I know. And
Mhm.
Ivy said something earlier. She said people think the world's crazy now, or something to the effect of, but the 70s and 80s have the most cold cases out there. Because there wasn't all the social media. But even with Delphi, you have everything you've ever wanted, and
Mhm.
still the case can't be solved. I hope we're not here 34 years still talking about it.
Oh,
But there's so many cold cases from just, and it seems like it's the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. And I don't know what transpired in those specific decades for so much to be happening, but that we just can't solve them. Yes, I am a Hoosier. Born and bred.
yep, Hoosiers. Well, I mean, my thing, like I said, I don't want to gear off this case, but with the Delphi, I really think, and even Paul Holes and Jennings, because I was watching a case where they thought in a video, they thought they had saw Karina McCricklin, and they said, isn't it odd how clear the video is? And we see all these cases with videos and pictures, but then they mention the Delphi case, how, and
Yeah.
I mean, this is my opinion, but that picture could have been better. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they were how many feet away or whatever. Um, it's like, and then like what Kat say on his was it his last live or the one before that? I think I missed his last one. He got he had the press conference up where they said they enhanced it, and like he said, why'd they enhance it?
Mm-hmm.
Why
Exactly.
they, and they swear that NASA and Disney messed with it, and that's the best they can do. I just don't. I'm sorry, but I don't believe it. I think it could be way better.
Yeah, I don't either. I
I
totally
mean,
agree with you.
I've seen pictures. You can see pictures all over the internet with people far away, and then you zoom in on them, and it's way better than that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't either, because why not just release the actual video? Don't enhance it. Just release it, you know, um, because there's ways to do that, loading it up and doing that, because you enhanced a picture. And then that's what, if Harvey's in here just listening, I'm sorry, but here we go. Um, that's my biggest gripe, when people enhance that photo, that video, whatever you want to say, because it's already enhanced. So you're enhancing an already distorted image. So
Mm-hmm.
um, just give us the actual, it's, I don't know, mind blowing to me.
I hope I haven't missed anybody coming in. If I have, I'm so sorry, and I'm sorry if I've missed comments. that happens when you have a guest on because you're focusing on. But well, I think, Harvey went live the other night. It was late, Society, so I know you missed it, and he doesn't keep his lives up. But he's quit the Delphi case for now.
Oh, he'll be back. He can't quit. He ain't going nowhere.
But I think on his live, I mean, he might have been contradicting himself, but he himself said the same thing that, we're saying.
Oh.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think he did. But yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that bothers me with the case. It's like, I just know that picture could be better.
Yeah.
And if it were, then that person may have already been found by now.
The only thing, like Sharon said, Libby may have been shaking. I'm terrible. I am absolutely terrible at taking video and photos. But my daughter is excellent at it. So it just depends. In that moment, was she trying to not be seen by him and kind of was like filming Abby but wanted to get him, so she was kind of leaning over maybe, and maybe a little bit shaking, and it's very possible.
And that could be true.
Like, hey, here he comes, I don't want him to see the camera, I'm going to try to get a shot of him or something. I don't know.
6 little girls killed in Carroll County in a 3-month time span, 2 with video and audio, and 7 people within a quarter mile of the murder and nothing. Well, and then I saw your next comment, Christine. I want to clear something up. Now, the sheriff is not the lead on the Florida girls. That is the state police.
Is that because of arson?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. And then there's a lot, I mean, we could discuss the Florida case sometime, but, I will probably be treading on dangerous ground there too. But I will say this much. Whenever somebody wants to try to, Randy tried to head that up. Randy Gravitt has a huge heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now he was, and I'm not trying to make a big deal, because it doesn't really matter because we're all here for the same. But I mean, he was the first one, boots on the ground for Delphi. But he tried to head up, I don't know, Society maybe a year ago. I don't know exactly the time, something for Flora. And, he was getting ready to do a fund, a legit fund with a bank, so that somebody else could be in control of it. He checked with the Homeland Security. He was in the making of making T-shirts and everything, and then he started getting threatening messages from the family, stay away, leave it alone, don't, and then the lawyer, so it's dangerous in that way.
Okay,
and it's dangerous, the county doesn't want you talking about it. So it's a dangerous thing to talk about, period. But anytime you want to talk about it, the family doesn't want you to talk about it. I'm confused because they're upset because it's not getting the attention that Delphi's getting.
Well, that's double standard.
It is. And I don't know how many years ago, but I think everybody knows about, I have a Flora group. It's not real active. But when it was pretty active, there was a guy in there that a few of us got to know, and the reason I started this group is because the mother was on news, and she was upset because the family wasn't getting the attention that Delphi was, and we we tried to explain. I mean, a lot of people said, well, the difference is that Libby and Abby's family is out there doing things, fundraisers, flyers, in the media and so on. But we'll help you. And we did everything in our power to contact her, message her, nothing back, no replies. Then we all in the group discussed a GoFundMe, and we let this one person head it up. Big mistake, because people that sent money into that, he took the money. So we contacted Tobe, we contacted the state police.
God.
And then, of course, he was made to return the money, but I know one of my close friends never did get her money back. So I don't know that everybody did. One of the, I can't remember her name, she was from Channel 6, I believe, asked to interview me and my friend, Misty. So we did an interview about it, which went all over Facebook. But him, and then I can't think of her last name, but her name's Darlene on Facebook, and probably everybody knows her too because she's a huge family basher. They tried to say that we were involved in that, which we were not.
Oh, gee, Merry Christmas.
And you can tell that from the Flora group. I mean, we were just upset, and I mean, so hurt by, we found out that he'd done this before. I can't even remember where he's from. I mean, I will take the blame, for trusting him. We should have never trusted him.
Right, but you never
know. We thought he had a heart. We thought he was in this and caring and all that. Brian Muhe was his name. I mean, everybody knows about this. Anybody that was involved with Delphi or Flora knows about this. But my main point is that, we tried to get in touch with her to help her. No response. And anytime you do, you get threatened. And it's usually by the, I think it's the aunt, the one that usually speaks a lot in the media. And like Carter said, they're investigating it, but he can't go much further without the family's cooperation. And, when I did speak about it, part of me is, are they scared of something? Do they know something and they're fearful to talk? I mean, because we don't know. We don't know everything.
Right.
Or are they hiding something? I don't know. But when you want to talk about that, you're treading on dangerous ground on both sides. You do get threatened, and Randy was getting horribly threatened.
See, that makes no sense to me. Putting myself in their shoes, I would never threaten somebody over trying to help with.
Exactly. Hello, Philip.
Hey, I think Kat was asking whatever happened to you, Philip. I don't know if that's the same Philip, but I'm going to assume so.
It is. He's out there. He hangs around. He just pops in whenever. But I know society, it doesn't make sense, does it?
No, because, I mean, everybody's different, but I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of that mother or a grandparent or an aunt, and somebody's trying to do some good to help you.
Hoosier has a statement.
Hoosier has a statement?
Hoosier says, I hate to hear people say they have inside info. Okay, Hoosier, who are you talking to, or what are you referring to? bud? Are you referring to, I mean, did somebody say something in the chat that you're referring to? Are you referring to what I was saying, or be clear, buddy?
Speak your truth, Hoosier. By the way, I just found you recently, Hoosier, because of Miss Ange. She was talking about you, and so I've just now been catching up with you.
I was talking bad about you too, buddy. I was paying you back. No. Well, Hoosier, sometimes people do, though. Sometimes people do. Sometimes people do it just for fame. Sometimes people do it just for the heck of it. But no, I was just, when I was talking about the floor case, that was just one of my questions. You know, are they not speaking because they're scared to speak? I was just laying out all the possibilities.
Right.
Do they know who did this, and were somebody set the fire because they were trying, you know, and they know and they're scared to talk about it? Is that why they want people to leave it alone and they're scared? Or are they, you know, I was just, you know, you got to lay out all the possibilities. Or, you know, a lot of people think the worst, which I do not want to think that at all, you know.
Right.
Those are her children.
Right.
But I mean, she's, you know, she gets on TV and she's like, you know, nobody's helping. We want help. But when people want to help and try to help, they get threatened. So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Exactly. Oh, Philip, I didn't realize that, so I apologize for bringing it up. But sometimes people get banned by accident, so I don't know if that was the case. But, you know, I hate to say anything against police because I certainly support them, but I am so fed up in this state of Indiana on things not getting solved, I could puke. I mean, it seems like if you live in Colorado, and I think I said this on my channel, I'm going to go ranting here in a second. It's like they got you. They will have you hook, line, and sinker. And I mean, we're talking Kelsey Barrett, we're talking Gannon Stauch, probably going to be Susan Morphew very soon. I mean, all the investigation that goes on behind the scenes we don't know about until the end. I mean, like for instance, with it's not Colorado, but you know, with JJ and Tylee, things that we didn't know. And I'm just so sick of like the Flora thing not being solved, Delphi not being solved, Denise not being solved. I mean, we could just sit here and just count and count and count and count and count. And it's like, does anything ever freaking get solved in Indiana? I'm just asking.
Right. In society, you're not the first one to say that. I have heard many YouTubers say that, because when I was talking on the Morphew case, and what's the other one we were doing for a while? Yeah, the Morphew case, and there was another case I can't remember. And so I was watching some different YouTubers that were following that. Every one of them said that exact same thing.
It's mind-blowing.
Our system here is just horrible all around.
Yeah, what are they sitting on waiting on in Flora? I'm sorry, Anne. You just tell me to stop if you need me to stop. But
no, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know. Except I know, like Carter said, and there was a big presser on it, and he said because this news reporter was trying, you know, she was trying to attack him, and he held his own, and but he was like, you know, we know there were activities going on in that house days and weeks prior, but the family is not cooperating with us. They're not talking. We have had people fly all over to talk, and they're not cooperating.
Well, okay, so the fire chief said arson, right?
Well, Randall said there wasn't. But then they had a special fire investor from Michigan come in that said, oh, yes, there is. And then Randall stepped down.
Then there need to have been an arrest made. Because if the special person you brought in said there was arson, then small town little fire chief gets in my opinion, he's a nobody. It's not like he had any special freaking training. So I would think I would take Michigan's fire investigator or whatever's word for it. And if I was Indiana State Police, I'd be making an arrest by somebody, because when they're in handcuffs and in a little room somewhere for 24 hours, they're going to break at some point. Sorry. It just irritates me. What the heck are they waiting on? If the family's not going to break by now in 4 years, they're not going to ever break. So make them break. Make an arrest. You have proof.
Well, and, and we have so many fires, too. I mean, we have a lot of fires we have a lot in Carroll County. We have a lot surrounding Carroll County too, though.
Is that to keep the fire?
I don't know.
Going? Somebody setting them?
Well, a lot are. A lot come back of, well, they're being investigated. We don't know, and then you don't hear about it anymore. Or there are a lot that are arson. Or there's just a lot of, but I mean, 10 can tell you, she's from my area. But Lafayette has a lot. Logansport. Otto's not in the house. I got to tell you guys something. I'm sorry, this is totally off topic, but I was rewatching Crime's video today because I missed the live. I took a nap. Now, my African gray parrot, she usually doesn't. Usually she hears things and records them and says it later, but rarely have I ever. She was listening with me, and she's in the other room. Otto came in Crime's chat today, and Crime said, Otto's in the house, and then my bird goes, woo, Otto's in the house. I about fell off my chair. I mean, it's like, oh, I wished I had a recorder for this.
Oh, that is good.
But yeah, things are strange in Indiana. They are just so strange. And don't get me wrong, guys, I hate drugs, okay? I hate drugs. My son is a recovering addict, and he's doing great, by the way. And he was down yesterday. He was not struggling with his addiction. He was just had a bad day. The heat played a part in it. He works outside. He was struggling at work. They've treated him awesome at work, and he was just having issues there, and just general things in life. And but I'd asked everybody to pray for him on here, at church, and everywhere. And today he's just, so he did say to tell everybody thank you. But now I forget where I was going. Oh, I hate drugs. But people get in trouble for drugs, and they get more than somebody does for murder or hurting a child sexually. And tell me what is wrong with that.
Oh, yeah. That just chaps my hide. I can't even.
Bye, Hoosier.
Yes, bye, Hoosier.
But I mean, yeah,
he's a night owl. I can't stay up that late. He's a night owl.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Chris, I do. I do. I hate drugs. I mean, I am for them legalizing medical marijuana, just because I know that it does help things and cure things. I mean, I've seen it before my own eyes. I've seen people with cancer
Oh yeah, it definitely helps with their pain. Hmm.
and pain. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we could do away with the pain pills. So that's another thing with Indiana. Indiana sucks. Why do we live here?
I know, right?
For some reason, I don't ever want to move away, but
I would move to Tennessee in a heartbeat,
you
but
know what?
nobody wants
My
to move
husband and I said that's where we were going to move, but I can't leave my grandbabies. I can't
there. Yeah.
leave my family. I mean, I have a very tight knit family, and I couldn't do that. Now, my brother swore he was moving to Tennessee. Nope, he didn't. He bought a house. He's moving soon, very
Oh
soon.
wow. Yeah, I love it down there. That's
I do too.
my happy place. Everybody else in my family likes the ocean. I'm like, please, if I never saw the ocean again, I'm fine with it. Give me the mountains any day.
Yeah, me too. I'm not big on it. My husband wants to. Well, we did go to Clearwater and see that, but
Yeah.
he wants to go back to Florida, but he won't fly, so we're not going because I'm not driving.
Yeah. I love North Carolina too, Nick. Yeah. That Tennessee North Carolina border right there, that's where I'd be in a heartbeat. Hmm.
Now, my stepsister lives there, but I've never been there. But I sure could go there to
Yeah.
visit her and my Nico. But Nico's coming here because we are all, by the way, society. We don't have a date set, but we're going to have like a round table um, meeting. And believe it or not, I think it's going to be on Delphi. Um, we don't have a
Online?
no.
Oh,
It's supposed to be in. Well, for those that can't make it, we're going to do it online, but we'd like to all meet in person just so we can meet everybody.
oh yeah.
Um, and we don't have a date set, and we don't have a place set. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. There was somebody that was wanting to meet with me, and I'm like, I'm not ready yet, but I want to come to Delphi sometime. It's like I need to get over my shyness and my anxiety-ridden self and just get from behind the computer and
well, I can't blame you. I
go up
really
there.
can't. I can't blame you. Today's crazy, and you think, if there's nothing I haven't learned through all this, is you got to be careful who you trust, because I'll tell you, I mean, there's a few people, and pretty much everybody here knows, and I've talked to you about it, that I thought I could trust, and I'll tell you, and I'm usually pretty good with reading people and knowing people, but I was dead wrong.
Well, that's not my thing. I've been wrong in my past, gotten hurt by people that I wouldn't think they would do me like that, and it's like, ooh, I'm just so cautious. And then, you think about all these trolls out there and what Godsy's doing to people.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
to protect my family at all costs. So,
yes.
but there's still that want that I do want to get up to Delphi eventually. I want to meet Cat face to face,
Oh,
Think
society, he is, and, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again, and it's no secret. In my opinion, I don't think Thomas Bruce is the one, but I have seen his work, all his, and I totally understand why he believes that he is.
yeah.
But in meeting him, you will love him. He is one big teddy bear in real life. He really is.
Yeah.
And he's a sweetheart. I mean, you need help, come on over.
Right. Exactly.
Um, I mean, he is. He's a good person. I mean, I don't care what anybody says about him. He is.
And
Make him mad. Make him mad. Yeah, he can be an asshole. So can I.
yeah, so could I. Yeah, and I just, I'd love to meet you. I'd like to meet Greeno. I feel like I know everybody, but nobody knows my face, That's not fair to everybody. But yeah, just still a little shy, a little gun shy yet.
Yeah, and everybody knows I know Greeno and met Greeno, which I've got to schedule a video chat with him. I feel awful because I've been so busy. I haven't had time. I shouldn't even say that, because you should not ever be too busy for your friends, but I haven't even emailed him. I've got to video him. Radar messaged me. I need to video him.
I've been thinking about writing him or putting some money on his commentary, but it's like, what do I say? We don't really, he doesn't really know me, I guess, but
Yeah, but he'd love a letter from you. He's so amazed at all the people that have stayed in contact with him. He's just, oh, Kanga, are you leaving? Thank you for coming, sweetheart. Have a good
I,
night or day. Where day for you? Probably it's lunchtime, I bet. But yeah, he's just amazed at all the people that have wrote him and stayed in contact with him.
wow, that's awesome. I'm so glad he's getting out. That's amazing.
In August, yep. That I'm going to be right there to make him stay on his toes and make sure that he does get help because he needs help. I mean, he's you know he's like a son to me.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, I just want to make sure he gets help and so he doesn't get in trouble and have to go back.
Right. Exactly. And he needs a good group of people around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So,
Yeah, you're right, Christy. I think people should be cautious because you never know who your friends are. That's right. The ones you think wouldn't do you dirty, do you dirty.
yep, that's a fact. I mean, I've met some good, rock solid. I mean, from day one, from this case, like Radar, I met her in person, Jenica, and I mean, I can trust my life with, but then, like I said, some I thought, and woo,
Yeah.
but you live and you learn.
Yeah. And that's a part of life, You try not to make the same mistake twice, but I usually end up making it 10 times before I learn my lesson. So, you know. Well, I so appreciate you having me on to be able to talk about Denise Plum tonight because that's that's the heart of my channel, really. I know I talk a lot about Delphi, but she's also the reason too.
Well, I thank you for coming on because, like I said, I wanted to know more about it because I didn't really.
Yeah.
And I knew people would enjoy seeing you on here because they love you as much as I do.
Well,
Um, and I enjoy your lives with Delphi. Um, I wish I could still talk about it. I've explained to you why I can't. Most people here know why I can't.
yeah.
Um, it's a lot of people don't understand. It's hard when you live right there in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
It still means so much to me in my heart, and I pray every day. Um, I pray for justice, and I pray for the families. I just cannot imagine. It's any of these cases.
I know.
I spoke one night about a situation with my grandkids. I was going through a situation. My son was still out there in addiction, and then my daughter-in-law, she's got custody, and well, ex-daughter-in-law, and there was a situation, and just long story short, you know, CPS was involved for a minute, and I had them. And one day they came, the cops said no, they're staying with grandma. A few days later they came and they took them. And I just remember how I felt that day.
Mm.
And I remember that, and I thought, and I think how I felt then compared to, you know, Becky, you know,
Right.
or anybody, any mother, any grandparent, anybody that's lost a loved one. And
Yeah.
how I felt that day, how I thought I could just check myself into a loony bin.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't know how I could go on. I really, really don't. I mean, I just can't imagine. I just feel my heart just breaks in pieces for them.
Yeah. Someday I'll tell you what happened to me last year. Because I'm right with you as far as like, I kind of dove myself into YouTube right after it happened because I didn't want to deal with things. So I totally understand being checked into a loony bin. Now, someday I'll tell you that privately. So
Okay.
yeah,
I want to, before we end, I know society's got to work in the morning, get
yeah.
up early, but I want to remind everybody, those that don't know, it's Ray Hanish's birthday today.
Aww.
Um, and on his justice page, everybody was having a drink for him. I just lit a candle. I was going to have a drink later for him and post that, but I don't have my orange juice, and I don't really ever drink anymore at all. Occasionally I will have a fuzzy navel, but I don't have my orange juice, so I can't have a drink. But I did light my candle and post a picture of that.
Awesome.
But but yes, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to Ray. Thank you for coming, Ivy. Have a good night. But yes, society, I want to thank you so, so much for coming on and telling us more about Denise, because
You're welcome.
um, like I said, I really didn't know that much about it, but I knew that it really, her case and she really means a lot to you.
Yeah, you would think I was related to her, but I'm not. It just that one haunting case as far back as I can remember.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
I think we need to, really keep that one in our prayers. I mean, like I said, I pray that before her parents pass, that they would get, that justice.
That's what I'm hoping for too. If it's never that the person stands trial, just the person that knows, let them know where Denise is
Yes.
so they can have a funeral for her finally. Because I don't think she had any reason to run away. And after all these years with social media and investigators looking into it, they would have found her. And actually, a little tidbit, that same Scott Jarvis, Indiana State Police guy that was looking into Denise's case, ended up finding a missing woman that had been missing like 40 some years. You can look this up on Google. Um, she was missing from Laurel, where we talked about that earlier today.
Mhm.
She ended up being in Texas. I don't know how it was tracked down, if it was social security number or what, but she left town, and it had a lot to do with that biker gang.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
there's
that's
all those small town things. I mean, but I just don't think Denise is one of those cases.
yeah.
But yeah, so thank you again for letting me have a platform to talk about it.
You're welcome, and thank you again. I was so excited to have you on.
Yeah, I was nervous. Like, oh
Were you? I was just like me. I was so nervous to come on your show. I mean, I was nervous.
no. It's funny. I still get nervous before my live shows. I don't think it'll ever go away. It's just who I am. So I will bug out of here if you want me to, and I'll let you finish saying goodnight to your chat if you want.
Okay, society. Well, let's everybody say goodnight to society.
Good night, you all. Thank you for being here. All right. Love y'all.
Love you, society. Good night.
Good night.
Well, that was awesome, wasn't it, guys? I was so excited having her on. And like I said, I really wanted to hear about that case. I didn't know that much about it. And I know how much that case means to her. I didn't know how young she was when it happened. That kind of cuts to the heart, doesn't it? Thank you, guys. It's just really heartbreaking, you know. All these cases that are so. Hi, Junie. Well, I fell asleep today too. And I mean, I fell asleep for a long time. These cases, though, that are so old and have nothing. Oh, I know, 10, she is. Night, Oliver. He's been quiet, huh? I'm surprised because, oh, I have a story. My husband went today, found the owners of the Beagle, and they say he's an escape artist. Oh, he came right back. But my thing is, okay, you know he's an escape artist, but you don't go looking for him? I mean, it's like my dog gets out, I can't find them, I'm going to go looking for them. They're my kids. And if I know they're an escape artist, I'm going to do everything I can to try to fix that problem. I know accidents happen. We all know that, right? Dogs get out. They, you know. But you do everything you can to try to make that not happen. And on top of that, when it does happen, you go and try to find that dog. My goodness, he's been here for a freaking week. Over a week. So I made a post last night and I made it public because I was frustrated. I mean, and that's a part of the reason I think that everybody in this house is tired, because Oliver and my dogs bark nonstop. So by now I was frustrated. And so I said, if he's here tomorrow, I am finding him a home or calling the animal shelter, which I don't want to call the animal shelter because I don't want him in a shelter. So, and I do know somebody that would want a beagle and that would take care of him. But my husband took him home. But then he was back. Now, I don't know if he's still here because Oliver's been pretty good. Maybe they did come and find him. Crime says, these unsolved cases are heartbreaking. The more of us that bring them to light again, we can do it. Yes, Cran. Yes, Lake. He's a stray dog. Well, I mean, He's not. We know who the owners are now, but they just, in my opinion, they don't care. Houdini. Yeah, 10. And beagles do. They do. If they can, they will run off because it's, they do like to do that. But like I said, go look for them. I mean, they usually do come home. Most people that have beagles that I know, they usually come home eventually, but this one, and he's a sweetheart, and he's friendly with other dogs, and so I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like it at home. I don't know. I can't keep him, Fox. I can't. I've got my Boo Boo and my Rosie, and Oliver will not. Oliver will not have it. Well, before we do sign off, guys, maybe Christine, he probably wants my females. Is there any updates on Sebastian? Yeah, Mom, dinner's done. Sebastian is the 3-year-old from Colorado that is missing. I'm really concerned. It's just the ice maker. I'm talking to my mom, guys. I don't even have my camera on because I look like crap. You know how long I slept? Until like 6:15 or something. I was running around with my head cut off, like a chicken with my head cut off. I know, Fox. I know they do that. No updates, Ohio. That breaks my heart too, guys, because I was listening to your live replay crime on that. A big fatty, and he stayed. Did you end up keeping him, 10? I will, Fox, if they don't start taking care of him, I will. I have the perfect person. I was listening to your live earlier, crime, and I can't remember who told you that somebody had said that they thought somebody in the media or somebody had told the media or something. Oh, I haven't checked my email, Ohio. I mean, I have, no, actually. Maybe it went to did it go to my spam? Spam's empty. I didn't get that. I know I've got some emails I need to read, but I don't see yours in there, Ohio. Can you resend it, honey? I have some emails I need to read. I was in such a rush, and I saw Society's email, and that's the only one I looked at because I knew she was coming on the show. But I don't see one from you. if you could resend that, I would appreciate it. Let me put my email in here again, just in case you did accidentally send it to the wrong one. I doubt you did, but it didn't come through for some reason. Oh, I just seen it flash through. Thank you, Ohio. But what I heard, good night, early riser. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. That somebody said, and maybe that's what you're talking about, Ohio, was it the dad? Thought he was abducted. And you know, I was thinking about this last night and today. They found the phone and a piece of his clothing by the water. Okay, good night, Fox. Thank you for coming. I was kind of thinking that too, and maybe they planted those things there to make people think he went to the water, went into the water. He's been missing since in the water. Okay, he's been missing since Sunday. And I'm sorry, crime. Can you refresh my memory? Have they had searches in the water looking for him? Because if they found the phone in the water, then they've certainly been looking for him in the water. Because, yes, like, it's breaking my heart. I am just, and you know, we were questioning the other day that, you know, about the parents not talking. But then I was listening to your live today, crime, and, you know, that's, I guess, not really strange. Especially, you know, it's not even been that long. I don't think I'd feel like talking about it right now either. I would probably want to, you know, holler out for, you know, help or something, but, you know, I can't say I'm not been in that position, but I know I would definitely be in complete craziness and depression and, you know, but the big question is there's not that much media, right? That was our big question. Right, Chris. Right, Chris. All these missing kids. And this is actually Crime's case, by the way. I just thought I'd touch on it before, because that's what her YouTube's going to be about, guys. Missing kids, mental health, and behavioral issues, because that's her specialty. You know, she works with kids with autism, and you know, this child had autism. And then the big thing we questioned the other day, it was just her, I, and Nick talking. You know, he was seen at the playground at 9:15, was it? Who's seen him? A 3-year-old by themselves at the park. And they didn't call anybody? Yes, Tin. Crime said that as well. And what did you think about that, Crime? You said you watched a video with Dad and read the body language. One of the mom's friends posted that his mom had left him on the couch and went to do something, and when she came back, he was gone. She said the child at the park might not have been him. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Chris, we were trying to figure out why he might have a phone. Unless, like Crime mentioned in her live today, maybe the mom said, here, you can play with my phone, or is there something today they use for autistic kids, for like a tracking device or something, or is there an app? He's nonverbal, so he wouldn't use it that way, texting or something. But I am starting to think the phone was planted there and his clothing. I am starting to think he was abducted. That's true, Lake. Ohio says he was playing on the phone. Okay. Oh, I bet, Christine. Yes, yes, it would be. It would. Crime, refresh my memory on, okay, this is in Colorado. What city or town? Small, big? I'm not at all familiar with Colorado. I've never been there. It is possible, Chris. I mean, I think so. I think, I mean, if there's been search teams and dive teams in the water, which has there been crime? I mean, if they found the phone in the water, I think they left that stuff there maybe to make people think he was in the water, and they took him. I mean, scariest thing ever, but exactly, Edward, a long time. searching water and land. So, yeah. Now focused on bottom part of the river. Well, I want this little guy to be found, and I want him to be found alive. Ugh. Oh, this breaks my heart. It's so scary. Well, there's Oliver. Why not volunteers, crime? I bet, Christine. I bet. It's not looking good, crime. It's not. I can't either, Lake. I can't. You almost can't stop your mind from doing it. Oh, there's actually a movie called that, Edward. Oh, I might have to look for that because I know there's a series. I love that series. I don't know if it's actually still showing new episodes, but I watch it still sometimes. Like my mom records it. Only investigative workers. Huh. I don't know why they wouldn't have volunteers though. That's weird. Some things just don't make sense in so many cases to me. That's okay, Edward. I watch a lot of variety of movies. Oh, today I was watching confessional tapes or confessional tapes or where people are coerced or made to make false confessions. I only got through one episode. That's when I fell asleep. Okay, crime. And that's right, guys. By the way, let me announce. Tomorrow night, Crime is going live. Saturday night, Society is going live. Crime's going live on this, Sebastian, the 3-year-old. Saturday, Society will be going live on Delphi. And Mel will be going live on Kurtz and some on Delphi. So YouTube will be very busy and interesting this weekend. You will not want to miss any of them. So Crime Friday, Incognito Society Saturday, and Mel, Cold Truth Sunday. Mark your calendars. Have your drinks ready, your food, your snacks. It's going to be a great weekend. Let's see, I missed Lake's question. What'd she say? Wonder if any camera around park or homes nearby. That is a great question, Lake. I don't know. Faces of Death. No, I don't, Christine. I can look it up though. Hold on, let me write these movies down. My memory is so bad. Without a Trace and Faces of Death. Harvey looks like the narrator. For what, Edward? I know, Jeannie. I think that's cool. And we always try to, if we do go on the same days, we try not to step on each other's toes. We try to be respectful of each other. I mean, sometimes we make mistakes, but we don't ever do it purposely, and we all know that. Yeah, I haven't heard either. About the cameras. That would be great if they did. You know, everybody should have CCTV. You know, I don't know why every state or the states, I don't know if any state in the US does or not, but I think they should. It sure would help solve a lot, wouldn't it? Yes, we are crime. Okay, Sharon. Thank you for coming, honey. And good luck tomorrow. Sleep well. Love you too, honey. Oh, Christine, okay. Oh, it's narrated. Oh, Oliver, you got in trouble by your sister at slumber parties. Wilco. Is that a movie, Chris, or a case? Or both? It could be both. Okay, crime. You rest well. Have a good day tomorrow. I'll pray it goes fast for you. You're going to have a busy day tomorrow. We'll definitely see you tomorrow night. Yes, like all parks should, all trails should. You know, they've got cameras at the Freedom Bridge now at the trails, but that's just at the entrance. They need them all through, all the way through. I think I still have, let me see if I still have got the link here to copy. There, I just linked Crimes YouTube again, guys, down here. If you would subscribe and hit the all, and then you'll get notifications of when she comes on. I sure will, Crime. Looks like Harvey, huh? It's funny, Christine. Okay, guys, well, it's 10 after 11, so I'm going to sign off and say goodnight. I still have things to do here because oh man, I was in La La Land for too long today. Oh, Wilco means yes. Oh, okay, Chris, I didn't know that. Wow. Yes, Nico, she is. You all are. I want to thank you all for coming night after night. I want to thank all my mods. You do a wonderful job, even though, well, I'm not going to say it. Don't want to jinx, do I? Missed Otto tonight. Wonder what he's up to. Little turkey. So you all have a good night, okay? Rest well. And I will see you all tomorrow in Crimes Live. Okay? So sleep well, and I'm going to say it for Sharon. Angels on your pillows. And have a good day tomorrow. And I'm going to say one more time, a big shout out, happy birthday to Ray Hanish. And justice for Ray. Okay, guys, I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow night on Crime and Innocence. God bless.